It is cold outside, so we're going to get you hot up in here on Comic Book Cannon! That is right. I mean, winter is approaching us. I feel like it was Halloween last weekend in the 60s here on the East Coast. Beautiful. And then the next day, bam, we're in the 30s. So winter's approaching, guys. Winter is approaching, but it's fun. It's cool. Going to go sledding, get some snowball fights going, drinking in the snow. So much fun. But, we're not here to talk about winter. We're here to talk about comic books and everything related to comic books. And let me bring in my good friend, partner in crime, Christopher. How's it going, buddy?
No shave November. I don't know if you guys could tell, but I got some little whiskers growing. This
Hold
is
on.
Yeah. This is the longest I've ever had with a beard. So I don't even know if it can grow out. We'll see. We're only 5 days in. So
hey, it's looking great. I actually just shaved today and totally forgot about that. But I had a parent-teacher conference and I had to look presentable, which I rarely do. Just want to say, bottom tier collector, I'm wearing my Pearl Jam sweatshirt. I hope you're watching right now. It says Pearl Jam right there. Also, a lot of drama going on this week, Chris, about a lot of things. Maybe we'll get into it a little bit later. Lots of fun, exclusive stuff we got into. But before we get into anything, we need to say hello to people. Mark Lennocker, Ray Quinzel, Nicholas Goltra, Peter Thornton, Mojo Quid, Dan De La Torre, Ray Quinzel. I think I already said that. Moonlit Comics. Hello. By the way, she says just have to say that thumbnail is fire. So is tonight's special guest. You got that right. Tonight's special guest is fire. 360 Comics, aka Joe. But guys, he has to pass the interview to become a guest co-host on Comic Book Canyon. You know how it goes, and it's not looking good. I guarantee he's going to get kicked off a few times. Who else do we got? We got Comic Toby. Hello. Tommy Fleming in April, I'm sure, is right next to him. We love you guys. Shadow Rat, Nikita Kare, Super Crispy Comics. He's a winner. He is a winner. Dr. Frankenstein. Who else? It's a great crew, Chris. It is. Oh, Into Oblivion is here. He's live. So nice to see you. You were on Journals Friday night. All right, Chris. We Jordan Norrie. Joe's going to get kicked off at least once. Guys, let's do the over-under. How many times will he get kicked off? Let's figure that out. We have a few minutes before we get to that interview because we got a few news. Now, guys, it's kind of a lull here because next week is Disney Plus Day, which is like what Disney Investor Day was last year. So there'll be a ton of announcements, a ton of cool things are going to go over. Chris and I are going to be live on Sunday next week. We will not be live on Friday. We will be live on Sunday, the 14th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. Let's get that in your brain for the first time this evening. Let's just make sure it's right there. Everybody take it in. We'll remind you a few times next week as well. But Chris, yes. Let's just get into the news. That's how we do the news. Last week we had a lot of cool things to show and we got kicked off. So let's just hope this doesn't happen because, man, I'm psyched about these two trailers we saw, Chris. Let's just start it off. We got a Book of Boba Fett trailer coming out December 29th on Disney+. I'm psyched. You should be psyched as well. Let's just check it out.
I am not a bounty hunter. I've heard otherwise. I know that you sit on the throne of your former employer. Jabba ruled with fear. I intend to rule with respect.
You were all once captains under Jabba the Hutt.
I'm here to make a proposal that's mutually beneficial. Why speak of conflict when cooperation can make us all rich?
What prevents us all from killing you and
taking what we want.
If you had spoken such insolence to Jabba, he'd have fed you to his menagerie.
Please, speak freely.
December 29th can't come here soon enough. Robert Rodriguez, the executive producer, and I do believe the director of the first episode, said it's going to blow our minds. He's like, he's like, The Mandalorian season 2 is nothing compared to this. If that's the case, we should expect a lot from this series, Chris.
Frickin' Disney. Them assholes.
Why are you so angry, man?
Oh my God, just doing these amazing things with our beloved franchises.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. Chris and I said at the beginning of in 2020, we said 2021, the floodgates are going to open. It was that and more. And this right here, guys, I am so psyched for it. Super psyched, Chris. Can't say any more than that. There was an amazing poster that was released as well with, we got Boba Fett and Fennec Shan right on the front right there with the, what is he calling his ship now? It's not.
I got to get one.
What's that?
I got to get one of those, put on my wall.
It's incredible, guys. Absolutely incredible. It's a wonderful time to be alive as a Star Wars fan, as a fan of just geek in general, because we didn't just get this trailer. The next day, that was on Monday, Tuesday, the Morbius trailer dropped. And I still haven't seen Venom. I'm going to. I'm sure I'm going to have the same feeling as I did last time, but this trailer to me, well, we'll talk about it on the other side. Let's just check it out and hope we don't get kicked off. Fair use, guys. Fair use. We're a news show. Fair use. Hold on. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the people who are in charge of kicking this off not to. Check it out.
You need a doctor?
I am a doctor. I should have died years ago. People all over the world have my disease. I'm here to find a cure. We have to push the boundaries, take the risks.
If you're gonna run,
Do it now.
People are strange.
Dr. Michael Morbius, you've been missing for 2 months.
When you're a stranger,
Then you were found on a container ship that washed up off of Long Island.
faces look ugly. When you're alone,
What did you do to yourself, Doctor?
I wish I knew. I went from dying to being more alive than ever.
It worked.
Not exactly. I have increased strength and speed, and some form of bat radar. What else can I do?
There are limits. There has to be.
There's something inside of me. He wants to hunt and consume blood.
Michael.
when you're a stranger, faces come.
can you control it?
I don't know.
Half the city wants to kill you.
Remembers your name
We haven't had anything this good since that thing in San Francisco.
when you're strange.
The other half wants to control you.
Hey, Dr. Mike, you and I should stay in touch.
I'd do anything to save a life. But I don't know what I'm capable of.
You save lives, you don't take them.
Are you here to heal the world? Or to destroy it? Who the hell are you, man?
I am Venom. I'm just kidding. It's Dr. Michael Morbius at your service.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, like the Venom trailers, Venom, the first one, the second one did nothing for me. This looks really good. I've been duped before with trailers. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened again, but right now I'm kind of into this, okay? And I like the ties to the MCU. Or to Venom in general. I'm liking how it's all tying in together with Michael Keaton tying it into the MCU. We don't know this for sure. We have no idea what that's all about, but we're going to find out a lot more when Spider-Man No Way Home comes out, and then this comes out in January.
Yep. Yeah. It's just a guessing game now. I mean, like, you think about, well, what's Michael Keaton doing there? We're going to assume that this is taking place after the, well, spoilers. Oh, shoot.
I mean, it's fine. I'm
going to keep my mouth shut.
You're talking Venom, I know. So, right? I haven't seen Venom, but I know what happens. My neighbor told me, and it's fine.
Okay. Well,
I knew that going in.
It's
been 3 weeks since it was released. Let's be real here.
Yeah, it's just a matter of figuring out. We know it's connected. It's just a matter of figuring out exactly when and how. But yeah, I agree with you. I even like how, like, in the end when he was saying I am Venom, he's like, no, it's just Michael Morbius. Like, I was watching Pressable Defects. Shout out to Jay the Butcher, because he made a comment talking about this film, saying, that they weren't really fans of Venom. They thought it was too whimsical and funny, and they said, I think this is going to take a different tone. I don't think we're going to really see that in this. And we just got a little kind of humor right there. Yeah. But it was so different. Just that little line of trying to be humorous was so different and fit with the entire dark theme of what we're seeing so far. So I really have high hopes for Sony to impress with this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited about it. I maybe see it in the theater. I don't know. I got to give a shout out to Adrian T, my fellow friend and co-worker. It's good to see you, buddy. Big Star Wars fan. I don't know if you missed the Boba Fett trailer, but I hope you did not. All right, so that's the Morbius trailer. And then we got some more news here. We were talking about this on your show a little bit earlier, but there's a report that I'm sorry, I got distracted by something here. And, I'm human, guys. I'm human. Report, Werewolf by Night has been cast. That is right. This is reported by Humberto Gonzalez with The Wrap. MCU has cast Golden Globe winning Mexican actor Gael Garcia Bernal. He's an excellent actor, people. Very good. He's been in quite a bit of things. To lead the cast of a werewolf-focused show that will air on Disney+. This is being called the Halloween Special and will start production in early 2022. Now, there are two versions of Werewolf by Night. The first is Jack Russell there on the left. The second is Jake Gomez, which just came out, I do believe, this year. Who could Bernal be playing? Time will tell. Here's the deal, though. With this article, there were no sources on record, but Humberto does have an excellent track record on breaking exclusives, and The Wrap is one of those higher-tier trades that cover entertainment news. Guys, we've talked about this before, saying exclusive without having that kind of meat in between the sandwich of the article. People on record, people of name saying this. That's a bit of a red flag for me. However, Humberto has a track record of breaking exclusives. The Wrap is a trade, a outlet up there with the Hollywood Reporter, Variety, Deadline, etc. I'm not taking this with a grain of salt. I'm all in. Chris, your thoughts?
Two things. I just think this is great news. Again, nothing's confirmed in terms of what these characters are going to be for this Halloween special. That's still speculation, but we can get into the meat of it and kind of really, the chances of them doing something with Werewolf by Night are probably at this point pretty high. Yeah. But then we don't even know who the character is. Again, all assumptions. When it goes to what you just talked about and what we talked about on our stream, again, I agree. I use the analogy on my live stream, stating that, look, we could sit down with Humberto and we would be transparent with them and state how we feel about verbiage and why verbiage and context matters. He might sit there and say, who the hell are you guys? I don't care about your opinion. I'm going to do what I do. But it pairs into the fact that this is a credible source due to precedent and what they do, and the fact that every other, 5-star credible source outlet out there takes this news and runs with it. And if they felt that this is questionable in a sense that, I don't know, maybe there isn't enough here to where we could trust it ourselves to run with it, they're not going to do that because they're putting their credibility on the line as well. So I think it's easy to say that we could trust this information. I'm not familiar with the actor, but like I said, like I've said this before, any type of casting with the MCU, with Sarah Haley Finn heading the casting and everyone involved, they've done an amazing job for the last 13 years.
Yeah.
I'm not going to question anything they do at this point.
Definitely not. We all believe in Feige. He probably has the last say on those types of things. But hey, this is exciting stuff. Again, exploring different pockets of the MCU or the Marvel universe. We're all excited about this. We got a Moon Knight series probably coming out next year. I mean, they're still in production probably, but I can't wait. This is going to be great. This is absolutely going to be great. All right, our last piece of news is something we've already reported on earlier today. Next week's show will be on Sunday the 14th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. We are going to go over all of the Disney Plus Day news announcements, and we are super excited. Hoping for a special guest here. We'll get back to you. They're all special, but these possibly few people they're insiders themselves and have broken some scoops themselves as well. Hopefully, that's not an exclusive on my end. That's not confirmed on my end. So hopefully that's going to happen. All right. Moving on though, Chris, we got a great guest today, guys. We have a great guest today. I want to bring up the fact that this guy has just started creating. He's a content creator, 360 Comics, aka Joe, has just started creating amazing comic book related content. His YouTube link is down below. His Instagram is blowing up. He is all over the place. You guys got to give a warm welcome by following him, because Chris and I actually, if he has any goals here in terms of the subscriber count, Chris and I may cancel Comic Book Canon if he doesn't reach them by the end of the show. But granted, he has to pass his interview here. So why don't we just give a big welcome, 360 Comics. Joe, how are you, buddy?
Yo, what's up, guys? How you doing?
He gave the Philly yo. I dig it. I absolutely dig it. If you haven't figured out, Joe and I have bonded already over Philly, so there is a possibility I may be biased, but there's also the possibility he may not make it through this interview. So, with that
I might be the one playing bad cop today.
Yeah, you may have to, actually. I don't trust myself. Here's the deal, though. Here's the deal, Joe.
Let's hear it.
You have an interview, okay? And Chris is right. I'm going to have him kick this interview off with the things that he usually does. But before we do, tell us about your channel. Tell us how people can find you and why they should find you. Because I don't think I did a good build up for you, preamble before introducing you.
All right. Yeah. So 360 Comics on Instagram, 360 Comics on YouTube. Pretty easy. The name, it kind of goes twofold. I'm really into skating, and 360, a complete rotation. That's kind of where I got the name initially from. And also, I try to encompass all parts of comic books. So not just the collecting, but also the reading and, the speculation and the investing and the historical things and videos for beginners. So I kind of wanted to be like an all encompassing 360-degree look at comic books.
Listen, that is that's a great kind of area to cover, because it's easy to follow somebody like you, especially if you're a beginner. However, if you've been collecting for a few years as well, you kind of cover all of them. By the way, Marvel Man 616 is now following you. What numbers are you at? Where do you want to be followed more? Instagram or YouTube? And let's come up with the goal.
Definitely YouTube. I'm at almost 5,000 on Instagram, but YouTube's only a little over 800.
Okay, here's the deal, guys. If we are not, give us exact numbers right now that you're reading.
4,839 on Instagram, and YouTube is 815.
815. If we're not at, let's just say 825 by the end of the night, Chris and I are canceling comic book canon. It's over. It'll be all your fault.
Yep.
Not
That's
you,
a lot
Joe.
of pressure.
No, it's not your. It's on them. So here we go. Everybody should be fine. Link is down below. But here we go. Let's just get into this interview. Have I mentioned Joe's a Philly guy? Go ahead, Chris. Let's have it. Let's have at it.
All right. So, Joe, welcome. I love the fact that you're into skateboarding. I hung around I'm gonna get a little sad and sentimental here. I actually had a good friend, a older peer that was just an amazing skateboarder. He was murdered actually 21 years ago last week. Wow. Right before his 21st birthday. And I just saw a picture of him olling over a what do you call it? A mailbox. I couldn't think of it. I haven't used a mailbox in years, you can tell. Olling over a mailbox with like a milk carton crate on top of it. But fun story and sad story at the same time. But he was just accepted into the first ever Extreme Games right before he passed, unfortunately. But so I know it's kind of sad, but I just, in remembrance of him, he was just an amazing guy, an awesome skateboarder. And I never really, there were some skateboarders in our neighborhood, and I never really, fit into that crowd, but I ended up, getting a skateboard and trying to, do something, and I never could. But he was always right there, telling me, yeah, man, keep working at it, keep working at it. So, and my oldest son is actually big on skateboarding now. So, but I got to ask you, man.
Go for it.
Birdhouse or Alien Workshop?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I gotta go with Birdhouse on that one. Yeah, I mean, Tony Hawk's a legend, and I'm more of a vert skater rather than street. Alien Workshop definitely was a more street oriented, where Birdhouse, Tony's a vert skater. So yeah, we'll go Birdhouse with that one.
Yep. I love, man. I got Birdhouse stickers all over my house, actually. Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, I'm glad that you got that answered. Jeff, I don't know about me so far. I can't. I'm not playing bad cop here. All right. Willie Santos or Tony Hawk?
Oh man, they're so different. I mean, Tony Hawk has done things for skateboarding that no one ever has or ever will do. Yep. So is he my favorite skater ever? No. But is he probably the most important skater ever? Maybe arguably Rodney Mullen might be more important. Tony Hawk takes the cake there.
All right. I would have gone either way. I like the differences in them too, just as you talked about the differences between, vert and street. So, all right, man. All right. Good stuff with the skateboard. So I'm assuming, Philly is very rich with music. I don't know you too well, but knowing that you're into the skateboard scene and from Philly, knowing their culture, I'm assuming, you dive into a lot of different kind of music.
Absolutely. Yeah. Really widespread, from music that would make most people cringe to the soft chill stuff. Yeah.
Okay, you got to answer now. Give one example of music that you back and love that would make most people cringe.
So I'm really into this grindcore band that I've been really into since I was maybe 13. They're called The Locust, and it just is a wall of sound coming at you. Most of their songs are 20 to 40 seconds long, just noise. Most of it. It's
right.
Yeah, it's definitely cringeworthy music, but I love it.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go with some hip hop first off.
Sure.
All right. Both Philly natives.
Oh.
Meek Mill or Black Thought?
Oh man, you're gonna make me choose between two greats from their generations. I mean, Black Thought wins that one. But
wow, I was seriously.
I like Meek Mill a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dreams and Nightmares, sure, but Black Thought is
Oh yeah, Black Thought's too legendary not to pick that.
Okay, thank you.
I got Black Thought in my top 5.
I had my finger on the trigger there, Joe.
Yep.
So I'm glad you said Black Thought.
That was close.
Chris, moving on.
All right. Okay, now we're gonna kind of mix up here. This is a tough one. Again, both Philly natives. Hall & Oates or Boys to Men?
Wow. First of all, I did not know that either of them were from Philly.
Oh, Motown Philly back again.
What? Woo! Oh my God, I'm in shock. I'm in utter shock. Oh my gosh. He's been scamming us. That's what it is. I was like so enthralled with having him on the show. He said he's from Philly. That was his in right there. And then that happened, Chris.
To suck up to you.
That happened.
Yep.
But he's here now. He says he's got a grail for his fresh from the comic shop.
Yep.
I know he's from Philly, but Joe, what do you have to say about yourself, man?
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that I didn't put the lyrics together.
Oh God.
My answer would have been Boys to Men. I'm not a big classic rock fan, but
oh God. Okay, Chris, let's just move on. Like I'm almost in tears. Let's just move on.
Yeah, I'm kind of scarred here.
Let's move on. Ugh.
Man, I don't know, Jeff. We might have gone to the end of the road here.
Well played.
All right. Let's see if all right. Two Philly natives again.
All right, go for it.
Two queens in my book. Jill Scott or Erykah Badu?
Erykah Badu.
That's a tough one. That's a very tough. That's a really tough one. They're both.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No wrong answer there.
Okay.
By the way, Hartman Sports, Patty Pubs fan. We all are. Who isn't?
Yeah.
Who isn't? All right, Chris. Moving on.
All right. Let's get down to some more Philly greats, man. We can't talk about Philly without talking about Rocky. Man, I've had like I don't know how many marathons with my kids, because we got all the movies on Blu-ray, loving the Creed films. Really, I heard that Michael B. Jordan is actually going to be directing the third one.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm psyched. All right, so when it comes to Rocky, I mean, and any Rocky fan will probably appreciate all the movies, but I know there's, some movies get more criticism than the next. So I could have pinned up, multiple different ones against different ones, but I decided to go with the first and second Rocky movies, Rocky 1 or Rocky 2. And the reason why is because Rocky 1, he loses and it ends.
That's the best part.
But he wins and he's on top. Rocky 1 or Rocky 2?
I'm a Rocky 1 guy. Those certainly are my two favorites, other than I actually really liked Creed.
Creed was excellent, but you can't. It's different. It's kind of like I think you got to look at it like as separate entities, like the Star Wars prequels to this. So yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I don't. That's a tough one for me to choose from as well. But I hear you. It's the true underdog in Rocky 1, and he was an underdog in 2, but like he went toe to toe with the champ. So
the first movie in most, certainly not all, but the first movie in like most series like that is going to be the best one, and I think that's the case with Rocky because we get to know Rocky.
Yep.
And
exactly.
Loving the character is as important with that movie, that specific movie, as loving the movie.
I would like to say too that I think Rocky 1, we always get the movies where the protagonist goes through their arc, they go through the trials and tribulations, and then they come out on top and they win, or it is what it is, the Cinderella stories. We saw Rocky 1 is still really a Cinderella story, even though he lost, because it wasn't about winning the belt or winning the title. It was winning something in here for him. And I think that's what makes that first movie important, because remember, the message to me is that he never gave up and he never backed down and he stood standing. And that is sometimes even more important than taking the belt home, so to say, metaphorically and literally.
Sure.
Listen, everybody's loving these. They're coming up with Rocky. I do have to say, Como, we love you, man. We love you. I can't wait to have you on the show again. But holy shit, he says Rocky 4 gets the edge for me. Eye of the Tiger is life. That was Rocky 3. That was Rocky 3. He's from Missouri, though. He gets.
Como. He typoed his Roman numerals. Okay.
What? Don't even know. Anyways. Anyway, but Rocky 5 does not exist, in my opinion, in that whole. Everything else after that is fine with the 6 or whatever, and then Creed, all of that. But Rocky 5 does not exist. All right, moving on. Chris, do you have another? This one I'm confused, Chris. This question I'm very confused about.
Okay. Why you're confused?
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain this.
Well, the explanation is that there are superheroes that are from Philly. There are superheroes that are from Philly in both the DC universe and the Marvel universe. How many people knew that Wade Wilson was from Philly?
I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Now I know.
Yep.
Keep me off.
And Shazam. Oh, look. I didn't know he could do that. You can boot yourself off.
I've done it before. Yeah.
Sweet. Hot backstage.
Yeah, you're not booting. You're just
I had no idea he was from Philly. That's crazy.
Me neither.
And Shazam.
I knew this in the movie.
So we gotta ask, like, Shazam or Deadpool? Who you rolling with?
Deadpool.
All right, that's a good answer. I agree with that 100%. Absolutely.
You know what though? I don't know, Jeff. I'm gonna play bad cop here. Deadpool is so freaking overrated.
All right, well, he's out. There you go. Chris just kicked him out. Explain. Like, honestly, but are we talking? How about this? Deadpool versus Shazam in a fight.
Well, you can argue that Deadpool can't die. So you'd have to think, can Shazam outsmart Deadpool to get in a position to chop his head off?
I don't know, but I just honestly, I don't know. Dr. Frankenstein, this is the first time I've ever seen you in our show, and I'm very grateful, but
that's my wife.
Can we count Gritty as a superhero? Yes, we can count Gritty as a superhero. And for those that don't know, Gritty is the Flyers mascot who became a nationwide sensation when he first came into the league, which was 3 years ago, maybe, because the Flyers had not had a mascot for 40 years. So, God, she's wonderful.
That's awesome.
That's why I married her.
She is wonderful. All right, Chris, moving on. I'm going to take the last 3 here, and these are going to be
brownie points. Building these brownie points.
Like, I'm still shocked about the Hall & Oates and Boys to Men thing. That I almost want you to leave. I almost want you to leave. But here we go. If you had to choose between Tasty Cakes or Hearst potato chips, which would it be?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with the Tasty Cakes. I like
that. Is wrong. The correct answer is like I'm not answering that question. That's what the correct answer is. I'm not answering that question. I had one more Philly question to ask him.
I have no idea what those things are. So.
Oh my God. Please, Dr. Frankenstein, please let everybody know Tasty Cakes, Hearst potato chips. I don't have time to explain it right now, but Joe, this is it, man. This is the last question. The Eagles are a big deal in Philadelphia. The Eagles, that is one thing everybody can agree on, is the love of the Eagles.
Sure, go Birds.
It's bad or it's good, and right now it's not great. We all bond over either getting pissed off about how it's not great, or we bond for those magical moments. I need you to answer this question. That is, who is the most acclaimed Eagles in QB, the most acclaimed quarterback in Eagles franchise history?
Are we talking stats or are we talking the love of the player?
No. That's the most acclaimed. That's won the most awards and MVPs and etc. and other awards.
My gut wants me to say McNabb, but it's probably
nope. It is Nick Foles because he won the MVP in the Super Bowl, which we never thought we'd see in our lifetime. Joe, God! My neighbors are probably going crazy right now because I'm not. It's past everybody's bed. The kids are probably asleep. I can't believe this.
To give him credit, I'm wondering if he was gonna say, but it's probably.
I don't know. I didn't want. I just wanted.
Even I knew that one. Even I knew that one.
What were you gonna say, Joe?
I'm a Nick Foles fan, by the way, guys. I root for that dude.
Me too. I love Nick Foles, and when he won the Super Bowl, I said, "Get rid of Wentz. We can get more for Wentz. Keep Foles. Get rid of Wentz." And look where we are now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going to mention that he won the Super Bowl, which gives him a massive amount of acclaim.
I mean, it's not even. I didn't want you to because you were going to answer it, so I had to kick you off.
Yeah.
That's full disclosure. I'm still angry about a lot of things. But listen, Chris.
Actually, before we end this,
it hasn't been perfect. This interview, it has not been perfect.
Not at all. But Jeff, I don't want you to be a hypocrite here because I think I got some dirt on both of you. I think I got some dirt on both of you.
What?
Joe and Jeff, is it true that it was you two that were burning cars and riding in the streets during the Eagles Super Bowl celebration?
I didn't eat the horse shit. And by the way, there was not that much going on. Like people were on the lampposts. That was it.
With your shirts off, painted in green.
Listen, I was at the parade. At the parade.
At the time, I was in a former career of mine as an elementary school teacher, so I really could not publicly do anything that could get me fired at the time. I'm no longer that, so it's good.
Well played. Listen, that is one of the best.
Joe came to work the next day, hungover, with his shirt off, still painted in green, running through the campus, running through the schoolyard.
No,
but the kids all knew why. The kids were like, "Yeah, Joe."
We did all like Eagles and football related projects that day. Did like some I taught.
Oh God, what a glorious day!
And then
what a glorious day.
The screen I had the entire time was the news feed of the parade and all the stuff that was going on in the city. So the kids got to see that even though they weren't able to be down there. So it was a historic day.
It really was. Joe and I can't express to any of you guys that live outside of Philly what that meant to us. But oh my God! Again, Joe and I have just met through this comic book community, and but I already know. I could already explain what it meant to Joe, and he could do the same for me. So, anyways, Joe, you've made it through this. You are a guest co-host on Comic Book Canon. Congratulations! We are very happy to have you. We're going to get back to talking comics if that's okay with you. But before we do, I do this little thing over here where I'm playing a comic book related movie, and you guys try and guess it. I'm going to be ducking out, here and there when I can. I like to be in the center frame here. I like to compose my shot well enough like this, but it's in the way of the TV. So anyways, both of these guys know what it is, and let's see if you guys can guess. Anyways, moving on, guys.
Mark Lennocker is going to get
this segment each and every week. What is it? Can you tell us?
Fresh from the comic shop.
That is right. Fly from the pressing salon. We ask you guys each and every week to send your new fresh gets in your collection. And you send them to us via Instagram by tagging us at hashtag FFTCS and tagging Comic Book Canon. And it's wonderful. We love seeing what you guys get. We love seeing it. And not only that, you guys can win prizes doing so. But we have an announcement to make. Whatnot has been an amazing partner through these past 6 months, Chris. We've given away some amazing books, but it has run its course. The agreement is over. We will be moving on. We are not done with prizes for Fresh from the Comic Shop. We're going to find a new sponsor, and we will do that for you. We promise, because it's been so much fun.
And a big thank you to Whatnot. I mean, these last 6 or 4 months and what they did and to help out to get all these slab books out to all the winners, man. It's been amazing. So I want everyone to know, good terms all around. We still support Whatnot. We hope that you guys continue to support Whatnot. And we want to just say thank you and show our gratitude to them.
Yeah, I mean, again, we are very appreciative. That was our first sponsor, and they came I think we gave over $1,000 worth of books.
Yep,
so
amazing.
Again, and hopefully you guys are appreciative. Those who won and had a chance of winning, we hope. But we're going to figure something else out. We're talking to some people. We'll get back to you on that. Please continue to send your fresh gets each and every week. we're going to get to it. What we look for in these fresh gets are the criteria is presentation, a well-composed shot. We want to see that nice shot taken. Take some time, compose it well, get the lighting just right, the framing just right. We want a unique book as well. These, by the way, there's are 3 bullet points of criteria. They don't all need to be one, but it's good to have at least one. So again, uniqueness of the book. It could be 50 years old. It could be 5 days old. That's a crazy variant that is 1 in 10 or something like that. Literally 1 in 10 out of the whole print run. Just give us something unique. And I think this goes a long way as a story, what it means to you, how it's connected to you. And we're seeing a lot of those lately, and it's really amazing to see. So we're just going to get right into it, guys. Joe, you are here to judge our semifinalists, but you're also going to be sharing your books, and we'll get to that in a second. But first off is Imarvel Spider-Man 75. Okay, this issue has a lot going on at once. A little blast from the past and a massive fight that might have Spider-Man fighting for his life in the aftermath. It was actually pretty good, not to mention, I did score this 1/100. I don't know what he meant. It was pretty good not to mention. But he did score this 1/100 from a local comic shop with the Lee Inyuk Lee, I'm sorry, is always awesome and is always a welcome addition to the collection. That is a beautiful, beautiful cover. Imarvel, thank you for sending that in. Comic Toby 420, supersized annual, The Amazing Spider-Man. Move over, Spidey, enter Speedball, The Mass Marvel. This is now a classic book in my eyes. Like, this is early 90s. It's a Ron Frenz. Ron Frenz had this style of like Jack Kirby. I didn't know who Jack Kirby was, but seeing Ron Frenz's artwork, that opened the door to what Jack Kirby was. It was just, his work on Thor as well. But this is a really cool book. Speedball is a very cool character, and that's a great pickup there. Comic Toby 420. Marvel Man 616 Comics. We know you're here. We saw you in the chat. What do you got? You got New Avengers number 18, the first appearance of a new Dark Avengers team. To clarify, this isn't the original Dark Avengers team, but the new team. I just like the cover. I think that cover is outstanding. That was a fun run right there as well. This one, guys, I'm digging this one. Dave Collects. Yeah. I had to share it. By the way, his link is down below as well. And if you're not following 360 Comics, shame on you. That's another. We have to get to at least 825. Dave Collects. Yeah. Had to share this combo. Finally, Discovery Bay Comics is back on YouTube, and I had to tag him in this comic and Funko Pop segment. This is my Rocket and Groot #1 hip-hop variant homage to Run DMC's King of Rock album, paired up with my Rev Run and DMC Funko Pops. That is cool. He also has the DeLorean there on the left, and there's a train or something on the right. With I don't know what that is, but I'm really digging this setup, that picture as well. All right, Joe, your first fresh get of the week. But before you show us, what do you got on your YouTube?
Oh, I just checked. 819. So we're about halfway
away.
there.
Before, if we don't get those 6 people, we're canceling Comic Book Canon. Go for it. Oops, I just removed. I'm just so used to removing you. I am so used to removing you. My apologies.
All right. So, guys, I always categorize things. So I kind of picked from 3 different categories. I got a current book that I'm reading.
Nice.
I've got a weird one that I did not know about until very recently. And then I've got a Grail with me, which I think I'm going to save that one for last.
No, that has to be last.
So do I go with weird or current first?
Let's do current.
Current. Okay.
I'm down with current.
This was, I did not plan on buying this, but I stumbled upon it at one of my local shops. This is The Me You Love in the Dark.
Oh, that's not weird.
No, this isn't the weird one. This is
the current.
Oh, my bad.
You said current.
I thought it said weird.
This is the Comic Kingdom of Canada exclusive cover.
That's
of
a
The
great
Me You Love in
cover.
the Dark #1.
Yeah.
Sorry about this glare, guys.
No, it's good. It's good. We were getting a nice shot of that. That's really nice.
Unfortunately, a dark book, so there's gonna be there we go. Awesome cover. I'm loving this run. I'm not a huge fan of Scotty Young's art, but his writing is good. He wrote Strange Academy. He's doing this.
Yes.
Yeah, good stuff. So pick this up. The store had a 25% off sale, so this was like $60.
Oh, wow. That's for a 9.8 for that title.
Yep.
Great pickup, man. Kudos to you. That's great. Legion of Comics wants his link in the chat. He's down below. The link is down below, guys. Please follow him. Don't be shy, right? Am I right? Follow him on the Instagram as well, right there. Look, boom. at 360 Comics. It's that. By the way, that's a great name too. I like the reasoning behind the name, but it's a great name. All right, moving on. We got Into Oblivion, who may still be here, but he's usually never here live. We're very happy about that. Into Oblivion. I'm liking this, guys, because it's the Mighty Thor 387. This is Ron Friends as well, by the way. First cameo appearance of Exitar the Executioner, the strongest of all Celestials and largest, standing at 3.8 miles high. Obviously, we're showing, this is a great book, but it has, a little bit of relevancy in terms of the Eternals, because that just came out today. I'm going to see it on Sunday. Chris is going to see it tomorrow. I just came up with that song. You guys can't take it. It's copyrighted. Moving on. Neighbor to the North. Always sending in some great books. My fellow Canadian Black Crown Comics tagged me up for Marvel Monday. I found all of these at the shop today and couldn't be happier. $5 each, so I couldn't complain. Certified fresh from the comic shop. I love how he says that, by the way. He says that all the time. The one on the left is like the one right there. Obviously, Into the Spider-Verse sequel will be coming out. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more of him. I'm not sure if Oscar Isaac has mentioned anything about that or saying either way if he's going to be in it, but we haven't seen anything on that film. I think it may come out next year or 23. I'm not sure. But Spider-Man 2099 is a really cool character. House of L comic. This is good. This is a rare, unique book is what we're talking about here. Just got back. Rarest book I've ever had. Wish it would have gotten a higher grade, but it will do. 4 covers on a key like this is just too cool. So he has 4 covers on that book, guys. That's not a double cover. That's a quadruple cover. Good stuff, House of L. Good stuff indeed.
Wow.
Now, this is not a book, but it's still pretty cool. Arana Escarlata. He loves him some Ben Reilly. Finally, here's the last of the Bagley commissions of Ben Reilly as Scarlet Spider. Can't wait to frame this. Bagley's awesome. He's awesome. Like we can all agree, he is awesome, and he's had a heck of a run on all Spider-Man related books. Comic Ozzy, good friend of the show, Quentin, keeping the Kang train rolling, has become in my eyes an iconic cover. I have a soft spot for this time-traveling purple dimension eater. Yeah, it's anything Kang is going to be super hot, especially when Ant-Man and the Wasp come out. He's already had a major effect on the MCU, and I'm excited to see what more will happen from that, as I'm sure both you guys are and the audience. All right, Chris, what is your first fresh get of the week?
I accidentally sneak peeked this in our live stream because I was looking for books to I don't even remember what I was doing, but I pulled it out and yeah, man, some beautiful 12-cent Avengers goodness.
Oh,
Avengers number 40. And I think this is really cool because it has 2 characters that I think are prime for the picking to make an appearance in the MCU sooner than later.
Oh, yeah.
Hercules and Namor. Boom.
That's excellent. Yeah, there's a lot of chatter going around with both of those comics. I mean, you have Hercules' father cast in. He will be appearing in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yep.
So I mean, that opens the door to Hercules. So it's good stuff. It's exciting. I really, really dig that. By the way, Legion Comics is giving you some love. Just shared your channel out in a few group chats. How many do you have right now?
We're at 824. We're one away.
One more. Here we go. We will not have to. Hello, Mr. Tom Freak. We will not have to cancel Comic Book Canon if we get that one person. Or sub, actually. Here we go. We got Hood Rat, another good friend of the show, Ian, a.k.a. Hood Rat Comics. Making my homie Free Energy Comics proud with these Dr. Doom books. You're also making Cover Junkie Comics proud as well. I found during one of my LCS's 50-cent sale on long boxes they pulled from the back. Y'all know I'm a big Doom fan, and finding these, especially the Steampunk and 2099 Doombot variants, have me and he's got a smiley face with sunglasses on. Those are cool covers. That's a good series too, as well. I do believe it is on Marvel Unlimited. Y'all should check it out. Nukes Comics. He's always sending goodness in. A lot of it's modern, but I'm surprised to see that he sent in this kind of Bronze Age. I picked up this. Actually, this could be silver. No, it's bronze. I picked up this copy of the Fantastic Four 202 from Keith's Comics. It features the overpowering evil of Quasimodo. This one goes to my son's personal collection. He's a big Fantastic Four fan. Good stuff, Nukes. Good stuff indeed. All right. You all know him. He's Son of Comics. He always gives the Red Hulk approved stamp. And this one's no different. The Lot #1 bundle from Bad Idea, all 4 issues.
Ooh.
I have the first issue. I have not read it yet, but those covers are so cool.
Yeah.
So cool, guys. Again, Bad Idea. A lot of you knock them, but they are putting out some great books, great stories as well. All right, guys, I'm going to give you my first fresh get of the week. It's a couple weeks old, but as we said, this is fresh from the comic shop. If they're fresh in your collection, it's okay. Cut me some slack, guys. I've been very busy. This is Search for Hugh. I haven't read the first issue, but I'm super psyched about the story and what it's about. So I'm going to, I believe he's half Chinese. He's also Jewish, and he's going back to China to find something about his family. This cover is awesome too, by the way. And my dog is barking.
Very interesting.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't read the first issue. I say that each week. I have had no time to read books, and it's pissing me off.
Is that Aftershock?
It is Aftershock indeed. They're putting out some interesting things like Devil Chicken. Moving on. We got he's a former guest co-host. He's going to get one of those varsity jackets that we'll never produce. It's Nerds Being Geeks. I'm loving this too, by the way. I recently had the opportunity to meet Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. During this encounter, I had them sign a few books from their New 52 Batman run. The New 52 is what brought me back to comics. I started my first pull list because of this series back in 2011 at a shop that was 45-minute drive away. However, in 2013, I had to cancel my pull because I left to join the U.S. Army. Several years later, when I got out of the Army, I made it my mission to pick up where I left off and complete this run. It was a dream come true to meet the creative team that returned me to the hobby. The highlight being issue 6, which Scott Snyder wrote to Alex, "The court is watching you." That's pretty cool, guys. And thank you for your service as well. Alex, you are a great content creator yourself and an asset to this community. And you make funny faces is what one person put during our episode with you. But you do, you know it. But it's all in good fun. All right. Last month's winner, Super Crispy.comics. For this week, fresh from the comic shop, I got a little something. Old Amazing Spider-Man 149, a little something new. It's Amazing Spider-Man 11 to go with this leather Spider-Man mask commission I just finished up. I mean, this guy is super talented. It's incredible the stuff he carves and creates with leather and wood and stuff. So keep sending in those amazing pieces as well as your books. We truly appreciate them. Matt Stadge, he is the creator of Watlock. Very happy to get a graded copy of this issue. The raw copy is the first Amazing Spider-Man book I ever bought back in the day, right off the rack. If this issue didn't catch my eye all those years ago, who knows what my hobby would be today. It's great. And look, it's a newsstand. The one he pulled off the rack right there, guys. The one on the right. Good stuff. Good stuff, Matt. Cover Junkie Comics. Not Doom. Not Doom.
Oh, yep. Wow.
Fresh from the comic shop with the last 3 issues of the Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunter series. First issue released May 4th. Last issue on Wednesday. Along the way, I grabbed a couple variants and ended up with 36 books. I read the first few, but couldn't keep up week to week, so I decided to wait until I had them all. Ha ha ha! And you all thought all I collected is Doom books. No, we did not. You've shown other things, but that's some good stuff right there. I've been collecting them myself, but I've been waiting for them to come on Marvel Unlimited too and read them that way. So I've read a few and they're pretty good. I do enjoy it. I really like what they're doing with Star Wars comic books right now, just in general. Guys, this is great. He's not eligible to win, but I mean, this is just fantastic. And shout out to Chris, Journals Comics, Dan De La Torre. This week's Fresh from the Comic Shop is not a comic book, but the actual superhero. On an adventure at Avengers Campus, we ran into the Black Panther on patrol. Speaking in his Wakandan accent, Black Panther wished us well. I made certain to represent the comic book canon show by wearing my Journos t-shirt. And your daughter's right there. Black Panther looking over you guys. That is just awesome stuff.
Yeah, it is.
That is just really great. All right, we got Mark Lennocker. We love Mark Lennocker. He's always showing us something. Can you guys hear my dogs barking?
He's like, how come you haven't shown my fresh get yet?
He's driving me crazy. He's driving me crazy. All right, I hadn't yet come back to comic collecting in 2013, so I am happy to finally get Spider-Man 700 with the collage cover by Pablo Garcin. This is also a high-grade newsstand edition from the final months Marvel was still doing that kind of distribution.
That's amazing.
Listen to this. It amounted to approximately 1% or less of their output.
Yep.
That's fantastic. That is great. That's a great get there, Mark. Glad you got that book. All right. This is the common couple. I think we've crowned them. And guys, they each sent in separately, but I'm showing them together because look. Team up with my wife. They both have the same post, by the way. So it's team up with my wife from Tommy and team up with my husband from April. On this fresh from the comic shop pickup, Marvel team up Spider-Man and Daredevil plus special appearance on the Black Widow of the Black Widow and the Kingpin, number 141, signed by Tom DeFalco. It's an 8.0 CBCS. Sometimes you need to team up to get things done. Glad we got our copy. How adorable is that? How adorable is that? We love you guys. We need to check in if they're drinking Fireballs. Guys, if you're still watching.
I'm getting a little gushy here.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I mean, it's hard not to. It's hard not to. We got Carcom US. My first ever multi-book fresh from the comic book shop commission, but got a few books I have been looking for. Chris, you have this Watlock or Thor?
Hell yeah. You know I do. I got both.
And he did say a Watlock. All right. Joseph, what do you got for your second pickup of the week, your second fresh get?
All right, we're going the weird now. So I bought a collection this week. And this was in it. And I was going through pulling out the keys, pulling out the bigger books and stuff like this. And this just went into the pile of, Silver and Bronze Age stuff. Didn't even think about it. And the whole collection was not bagged, not boarded. So I'm going through bagging and boarding the, more bulk stuff. And I'm like, what's up with the colors on this cover? And I do a quick Google search. Normally it's not this color. Apparently some percent of the print run on Fantastic Four 110, the blue and the red, or the cyan and the magenta, were switched in the printer.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
That's
really
cool.
Sick looking cover. So it's kind of like almost like a negative, what's that called? Like not negative space, but I forget, but it's opposite essentially.
It's that is definitely weird. Like
that's what I looked like when I realized what this cover was. But yeah, super rare. There's a bunch up on eBay. There are two graded ones up on eBay for over $1,000.
Wow.
Where'd you find that again?
This was in a collection. You always hear people say, tell people you collect comics. I post on Facebook about it a lot. A guy who I haven't talked to in 13 years, who I went to high school with and played soccer with, messaged me and said, hey, my dad's got a collection in his attic. Do you want to come take a look? He's trying to advertise.
Wow, yeah.
Listen, we've been doing this for quite a while. We've seen a lot of really cool stuff. We've seen an Amazing Fantasy 15. Dinesh Shamdashani had that, but we've never seen any. Like that's probably the most unique book we've seen. Am I right, Chris?
I agree, man. That and it, the way it presents just adds to it. It's just the uniqueness is just it really is like a beautiful cover to look at because of it.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. Congratulations on that find. That is wow. All right,
really awesome.
It's hard to segue from that, but we're gonna do it because we got Nori Jordan coming up here with what does he got? This week I got in a book I have been trying to get for a long time. I will also say I do not like the oversaturated variant market, but when I collect a series, I want them all. My newest addition to my PC is Black Widow number 2, the 1 in 500 J. Scott Campbell Virgin Yelena cover. This book is hard to find. I also scored a few copies of this month's number 12. Take care, everyone, and enjoy the weekend. The Adam Hughes covers are fantastic. I love so good. But that J. Scott Campbell one is great as well. And the series is a great read, people. It really is a good read. I didn't know what to expect from it, but I'm enjoying reading this series. So kudos to you, Nori Jordan. C to the G. If you're not with me, then you are my enemy. Anakin Skywalker, Star Wars number 17, the Lucasfilm 50th anniversary variant. That's a cool cover. And I'm liking how they do these the 50th anniversary variants. Those are excellent. We got Raw Dog Comics. When I was a kid, I had all the Wolverine comics, 1 through whatever. I had also had many of the 80s X-Men comics, including Giant Size X-Men #1. I had a very tumultuous coming of age. Long story short, lost all my comics in the shuffle of life. I came across this beautiful copy of Wolverine 8 the other day and could not pass it up. I feel like I got a piece of my childhood back and will not lose it again. Now on the hunt for the rest of this run. Thanks, everyone, for the likes and comic family love I feel in this community. Happy Friday and never give up the hunt. Raw Dog, that is a very good story. I had all these too. I have no idea what happened to them, unfortunately. I think that's John Buscema, but this run is great. John Byrne took over, and we Chris and I talk about how we love John Byrne. So that's a great pickup. All right, Christopher, what's your second fresh get of the week? Here we go. He's ready.
It's a book.
Ooh,
It's a book.
drum roll.
There you go.
Oh, nice. It's a bag and board. Congrats.
It is. I thought that'd be more exciting than the book itself, but nah. Who am I kidding? Jeff might guess what this is. He's been like, I want to see more of those because you were showing so many off. Brave and the Bold, some Bronze Age Brave and the Bold goodness with one of my favorite Batman villains, Ra's al Ghul.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Look at that. That's good. That's good stuff. There he is.
That's not. Is that Neil Adams?
Good question, because that Ra's kind of looks like Neil Adams, but it's a Aparo.
Oh, Jim Aparo. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. That's got to be an early Aparo, right?
Yeah. 40 center. When did this come out? Like 76, somewhere around there.
Yeah, Jim Aparo. He's had a great run on Batman. So that's good stuff, man. That is. I'm liking you're picking those up. All right, next up we got Caution Comics. Excuse me, I just burped, everybody. I remember when I was a kid, I went for a walk with my. This is a great story, by the way, guys. I remember when I was a kid, I went for a walk with my mother and ended up crying because I thought the dead rodent on the side of the road was Splinter from Ninja. Here's my pickup from the Ben Bishop Comic and Art Club. This Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 100 with a custom sketch of Donnie in purple. Also came with this cool hat. That is good stuff. What's up, Chris?
I started my art career drawing Ninja Turtles, so I absolutely love this.
Yeah, that is a great looking book.
Yeah, I have a question about this book.
Go ahead.
Is this an homage to the Neil Adams homage to the early Batman book?
That's a good question.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. Caution Comics is gonna. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
It looks like it.
I know what you mean, because you got the moon, and then you got the guy, the turtle in the background, kind of looking down. But then I don't know what's going on with the rest of it down there, though, because it's kind of cut off.
The first thing I thought when I saw this was that homage to that. I can't remember what Batman number it is.
Oh, that's the 3 other turtles, huh?
Yeah.
Anybody in the comment section, please weigh in. Please weigh in. That's a good call out, Joe. I can't confirm nor deny.
If not an homage, maybe just the artist kind of taking some of that vibe, maybe even subconsciously, and putting it in his work.
My buddy Alex came through. Batman 227 homage to Detective Comics 31.
Yep, there you go. Yep.
Oh, is he confirming that's what it is?
Oh no, he's just naming the books that he's talking about. Yeah.
So Yoda Rules 90. Let us know if you think that's what that is too, please. Or Alex, is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let us know what you think about that. All right. Moving on. We got Comic Demon. What does he say? Oh, it was a small week at my comic shop, but I won't complain. Well, at least my wallet won't. Still got some good reads. He had a bunch to sift through, but I'm always a sucker for Firepower. I love Firepower, guys. It is an excellent series. I'd be reading that if I were you guys. Each issue never disappoints. All right. My second fresh get of the week is Star Wars: The High Republic. Number 9. Oh, sorry. Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures. Number 9. The variant with Quart on the cover. I just love this cover. He's a cool little character, little dude. I'm enjoying this series as well. The regular High Republic and Adventures. They're coming up with all these other miniseries. Guys, we may see these coming soon to a screen near you. I'm not going to say like film, but maybe Disney Plus or what have you. But anyways, I'm very happy. I think this is a 1 in 10. Very happy I got this. Moving on, Chris, I saw you doing some digging. Maybe you're just getting ready for your third book.
My third. Oh, is it? This is not my. No,
I just saw you.
That's ready. That's ready. I was actually looking at some of my newer books to see if I had that Adventures yet, but I'm always behind because I get mine in the mail. So
there you go. Yep. But you're not too much behind. You'll get that soon because that came out a few weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We got, guys, I don't want to tip my hand or show my cards, but I'm liking this. 080879 Surge, aka 080879 Lions, aka Surge, with the entry here. This is War Heroes number 3. Haven't read the book, but it's one of my first. Guess I'll try to show more honoring our war heroes and vets, and also honoring you. Checking the background, Colin Powell. I would like to thank all our soldiers and people in the comic community. Thank you for your loved ones, and thank you for the service. Well said. No matter what your political beliefs are, Colin Powell did have quite an impact on our country in a positive way, I think. So I'm really like how I like what you did there, Serge. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So moving on, we have let's get to Joe and his. I can't wait.
You doing it now?
The Grail, Joe. Your third fresh cat of the week.
You could not have picked a better week to have me on the show.
Okay.
And honestly, it's been very hard not to post this book.
Prove it.
Oh, man.
Here we go. I'm excited. By the way, hype it up. Build it up right now. Build it up.
Build it up. Well, I mentioned this collection. Guy I went to high school with contacted me. His dad had all his old comics. I called him and I spoke with his dad briefly, and he's like, yeah, I collected 70s, as well as the early 80s. And, I got married, had kids, bought a house, didn't really collect anymore. I did not expect to find this. And actually, I didn't find it until I got home. I was going through the collection there. Again, all unbagged and unboarded, completely.
No
raw,
bags or boards?
None, on hundreds of books. And so I had to be careful. I didn't want to try to go through everything and bend some corners, put some dings in there. So I kind of breezed through, and I saw some good things. I saw Secret Wars 8, and I was like, hey, you got this black suit. They got the Spidey 252. There was a first appearance of Nightwing. Some good books.
Can we guess?
Go ahead.
No, come on. We can't guess. How are we going to guess?
All right. I'm putting my guess in the private chat.
Go for it. I'm going to look before. But anyway, yeah. So I got home. I paid the guy what I thought was an appropriate price. I get home, I start going through it, and I found way more value. So I'm actually gonna show up at some point once I sell some of this stuff off with an additional check for this guy. Chris, no, you're not correct about that. I wish you were.
Well, let's just say Chris is guessing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1.
Yeah, I do wish. That is definitely a grail of mine. It's crazy. There was nothing in this run close to this number. There was books, dozens of numbers before and dozens of numbers after. This was the only one around it. Hulk 1.
I knew it.
Holy shit, you were bringing the heat, man. Like, honestly.
A book I never thought I would own, especially in this condition.
What the hell? You did not. That hype, it lived up to the hype. It exceeded the hype.
Yeah,
I didn't realize you're gonna pull that. By the way, Michael Katz guessed it. Unless he's a good friend of yours, he guessed it.
I don't know who that is.
Wow. What condition is it in?
So when I initially pulled it out, I was like, "Oh man, this is pretty good." I think this is like a 4 or 5, but I'm thinking it might be like as high as a 7.0 with a good press.
Good for you. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with it?
I think I have to keep it. I'll never be able to get one in this high of a grade because I think if I ever had the opportunity, I would just save a little bit more money and get in the X-Men one or a Spider-Man one. So I think this is kind of my only chance to own this book in this high of a grade. So I think I have to just.
That's incredible, Joe. If you could for a moment indulge us, please. If you could just relive the moment, show us your expression. You're sifting through the boxes. By the way, no bags and boards. Just show us what it was.
So my hands were shaking.
Do the before, and then bam, it's right in your hand.
And the crazy thing is, there's a lot of Hulk books from the Bronze Age that have red backgrounds, and every time one came up, I thought it was, Hulk 282 is a good book. It's the first She-Hulk and Hulk team up, but it's not this. So I kept coming across the red ones, and I was like, damn. And then I saw this, and I saw the 181, and I looked at the cover, and I like locked eyes with Wolverine. my hands are shaking. I read the cover. I'm like, okay, it says Wolverine. I'm gonna check if this is 181 again. Okay, it still says 181.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't dreaming. This is okay. This is the cover. Yeah, it's got.
Oh wow!
Oh my God. So I had to kind of like talk to myself and convince myself that this was really happening. That this wasn't a facsimile or a different issue that I wasn't aware of that had Wolverine on the cover, or one of the reprints, because there were a couple times that this story was reprinted with a similar but different cover. And it's real.
Incredible. That is a great. You would be winning this week's. But like, here's a good question from Tom Nordley. Is the Marvel value stamp intact?
Oh yeah, and my wife was in the kitchen, and I said, "You need to check this with me. You need to look at this." And we counted 1, 2, through the whole all the 8 pages. We got to the centerfold, and I was like, all right, now halfway through the back end of this book, we're gonna find the Marvel value stamp. Hopefully it's in there. And it was there. Beautiful.
Congratulations. Beautiful. That's so amazing. Mr. Lobo himself, that's the hunter's dream. Absolutely. Wow. Okay, last question. White pages?
Probably not, because it was, like I said, not in a bag, not on the board. Now, fortunately, this guy had a pretty good filing system as far as putting the books pretty tightly in the box that they were in. So there wasn't a lot of rub. There wasn't a lot of, books that were bent or anything like that. And more importantly, rodents didn't get in. There was not a single chew mark. But I don't think, considering they were not in bags and boards, and they've probably been in this attic for about 35 years, because the latest date was 87. I have to think that it's probably not white pages.
Yeah, fair. Okay, well, honestly, congratulations on that. That is so great to hear. That is a great, like, fresh from the comic shop guest segment, right?
I'm shaking right now just holding it.
It's fantastic, and thank you for not sharing that with your following there. All right, moving on. We got. I'm still like all like kind of distracted here. We got Coveted Comics. Shout out to my man Journos Comics, and huge congratulations on you hitting 8,000 subs on YouTube. I know I'm a little late to post my winning book from your Patreon subscriber giveaway. This dope Daredevil 181 Death of Elektra. Thanks, man. A book I definitely needed back in my collection, and it's a beauty. Good work, Chris. Good work on making the audience happy there. Yeah. That right there is our last audience submission. Chris, what's your third and final book of the week?
Well, I thought I was gonna take the win today, but I don't think anything's beating Joe's there. I mean, the story, the comic, the story behind it, how he came across it. But I'm still very proud of my pickup. It's a very humble pickup now, next to Joe's. But this is my Grail run. I know I've been working on a secondary Grail run, Thor. I'm like 3 books away from completing that volume 1 run. This is my number 1 Grail run. And I really thought there's been a lot of hype around this book. And I honestly think it's here to stay. I'll speak to that after I show it. But this is a book that there's a second printing / reprint of this book that in of itself has gone up in price. I recently got that thinking that that's all I'm going to get. I think I paid like $25 for it, and it's not even near mint. That goes to show you how. I mean, I think that book in near mint is over $100 at this point. But big shout out to A1 Comics, because if it wasn't for them, this wouldn't have happened. So it is technically a grail of mine. And it is Amazing Spider-Man 101.
Oh, heck yeah. No, that's a good pickup, man.
First appearance of Morbius. Yeah, and it's really cool. I mean, we did the Morbius trailer today, talked about what we think of that movie. I really think that Morbius is going to, and how they're going to tie it into the MCU. I don't think this is going to be one of those books that, obviously long-term value for this book, I already consider it a blue chip key. But we know that it is boomed over the last, year and a half or so, just because of what the market in general has been doing, but because of, knowing that this Morbius film is coming. I think the movie's going to be solid. And I think that Marvel Studio is going to take this iteration of Morbius and really bring him into the MCU in a way that's going to work for some years to come. And I think this book is going to continue to be healthy on the market. So very happy to have it. It's definitely, it probably looks better in picture. Again, I'm all about books presenting right. It has somebody put a staple in it and then took the staple out. So there's like two little staple holes somewhere like around here. I don't even know exactly where there's holes through the whole book. I think they had it at about a 3.0. So still,
that's excellent. That is an excellent pickup. Very happy for you there. And that yours humbles mine. So it's like trickling down. But before we get to my last fresh get of the week, Joe, you have a responsibility as a guest co-host on the Comic Book Canon. You need to come up with a decision here. Not right now. I'm going to share my last fresh get, but we'll come back to you, okay, for a semifinalist. All right, here we go, guys. This right here, again, is a few weeks old, but it is such a cool cover, and it is part of the War of the Bounty Hunters, and it is a first appearance of Devil and Pop. This is War of the Bounty Hunters, Jabba the Hutt #1. This is the 1 in 25 variant. How cool is that cover? And I hope we see more of this character as well. So I'm digging that. I don't have a cool story like Chris does.
All the freaking Star Wars covers, man.
Yeah. Loving it. I'm loving it, guys. I am absolutely loving it. But you know what else I love? I love when our guest co-hosts pick winners. And what do we got? It's a tough one this week. It really is a tough one.
It is. But before I go into that, I just want to say that Spider-Man 101 was also in that collection that I bought.
Hey, he just doesn't want to say. He also wants to brag. I got a 181 and a Spider-Man 101. So no big deal.
Yeah,
no big deal.
I think those are the two most expensive books. Yeah, they definitely were.
Yeah, it's a good for you. Honestly, that's good stuff.
It was a good one.
What do you got?
All right, so I narrowed it down to 3. And it's interesting because I tried to put my personal, ideas aside.
Mm-hmm.
I really like my 3. I'm just gonna go off with the 3 right now. Were Dave collects his Run DMC with the pop figures. Now I'm not a pop figure guy. I don't own any, and I never will. But I thought that was cool, so that's one of my top 3.
It's a good one. What do you else got?
Definitely House of L comic with the 5 or what was it, 4 covers or 5 covers?
4 covers. 4, yeah.
4 covers, yeah.
Good stuff.
That one personally, I do like errors and misprints and things like that, so that made it up there. And then I like that one from Caution Comics with the TMNT, which that might be an homage to an homage,
an homage to an homage to an homage.
Yeah, and it was pretty confirmed in the chat that there is a moon in that picture as well. So it seems to me like that's what that is. So those are my top 3. And now I have to pick one.
You do have to pick one. I mean, you signed up for this. Okay?
I did.
You knew what you're getting into, and now you're letting us down.
I'm all right. I've got it.
All right, Joe.
I'm gonna go with the TMNT book. It really stuck out to me because I really like homage covers, and I really like Neil Adams, who was the initial homager of that cover.
I think you made up a word. I like it. I like
homagist? Which one is it? I don't know. But yeah, I I love Batman. I love TMNT. We're gonna go with this one. I like it.
All right, congratulations, Caution Comics. You will be going up against our other finalists from last week. We will be posting.
Oh, which was me.
Was it you?
It was me. Yeah, for that Silver
Yep.
Surfer book.
That's crazy. We've never had that before either, where you picked your own competition.
Oh, I should have picked a bad one.
Yeah.
Oh well. I did
All
it
right,
fair
it's
and
going to be
square.
fun now. It's going to be fun.
That's
All right,
hilarious.
good stuff. That there ends Fresh from the Comic Shop. But before we leave, Chris, tell everybody how to enter Fresh from the Comic Shop.
All right, folks. So it's a little different now because you don't have to sign up for Whatnot anymore to win the prizes. But like we said in the beginning, big thanks to Whatnot for supporting us for so many months. You guys can still, download the Whatnot app and utilize them. You can still follow us over on Whatnot as well. But for right now, at least right now, it may change. All you got to do is just go utilize your camera in your IG. Take those pictures, post it on Instagram, hashtag FFTCS. Don't forget to at us, Comic Book Canon, and share it there. And again, you want to focus on the criteria. Make sure you have a solid photo. You're getting a nice creative shot. Presentation matters. Make sure that you know if there is a story behind it, talk about the story. What's unique about the story, or what's unique about the book itself. Like we saw some unique ones today, including Joe's, which I think would have been an awesome one to go up as a semifinalist. That Fantastic Four book with the color errors, so cool. So right now, that's what you need to do, folks. Make it happen for this coming week. But who knows? It could change next week as well in terms of a possible news sponsorship or something like that. So
we'll let you all know. But again, thank you all for participating. Thank you to Whatnot. It's been an amazing run, Fresh from the Comic Shop. We'll continue doing Fresh from the Comic Shop. We'll try and get a sponsor on pretty quickly. All right, but moving on. Actually, no, before we move on, Joe, check out your subs. What do we got?
Oh, haven't checked that in a while. Let's see. We hit it earlier.
You should have alerted us to that.
It was that. Sorry. It was in the chat. A couple people said it. Oh wait, hold up. My phone might be glitching because it's now saying 8:18, and
whoa!
Unless 8
well, guys, refresh it.
It's been an amazing run here at Comic Book Canon. Tonight is our last episode, unless we get 7 more subs. 7 more subs for Joe.
I have to think that there's a mistake happening because
I mean, you haven't said anything that offensive during this show.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah. As you're refreshing, Miguel.g.com. I've been away for some weeks, but I'll come back to IG and FFTC. You'll be more than welcome. And we have missed you, Miguel. Hope everything is okay. All right. So we'll get back to that, but it could be the last episode for Comic Book Canon if we don't get 360 up to 825 subs. All right. But moving on, Christopher, you know what we have next? This is just, everybody loves this. It's the top 10 hottest comics of the week based off of cover prices data. That's right, real data, not speculation, not some stuff coming from it. Well, actually, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say something about exclusivity. But based on actual raw sales data, Cover Price releases their top 10 hottest comics of the week list on a Monday. Our show is live on a Friday. What we like to do is quickly go through those top 10 hottest comics, but Chris will dissect that list and pick out his 3 most interesting books of the week. They're not always interesting because of being good. They can also be interesting because it's not good. And we ran into some drama last week. And if you all saw Friday Night Live, Journal's Friday Night Live, you know why. Or if you were here last week, drama continues, right, Chris? It always continues. But
always right. Yep.
We're just gonna get into it. The top 10 hottest comics of the week. Here we go. Joe, you ready?
Oh yeah. Joe's
gonna give some input as well. That's why this is the only reason we brought him on, for his brain, not his looks. All right, at number 10, we have Incredible Hulk, number 449, the first appearance of the Thunderbolts. Number 9, we have Nova, number 1, the first solo Sam Alexander title. At number 8, we have World War Hulk, number 1. Number 7, we have Avengers 232, the first Star Fox. At number 6, we have Batman Fortnite Foundations. Number 1, the Alex Garner variant. Number 5, we have Old Haunts. Number 1. At number 4, we have House of Slaughter. Number 1, that red foil variant. And number 3, we have Black Widow. Number 12, first appearance of the Host and the Living Blade. Number 2, we have X-Men. Number 95, the first appearance of a Skrull named Fizz. And at number 1, we have House of Slaughter. Number 1, the Virgin variant. Chris, this is an interesting list. I'm surprised Thunderbolts are creeping back in. Nova's in there as well. House of Slaughter. And actually, I'm surprised about Black Widow 12. It just came out last week, and it's number 3. Anyways, but this isn't my segment. This is more yours than it is mine. So what do you got? What do you got?
Yeah, I came into this with everything going on this week. I came into this list just like, man, I don't know.
Yeah,
it didn't have the same feeling to me, but I pushed through that and just try to look at some books for what they are. And my third book is a book that you can clearly see for what it is. And I'm going to give a little hint away. I'm going to be doing a video probably later this month. And I do this once a year where I talk about, the books that I think are solid books to invest in for the year. And I'm just going to give one away that's going to be on that list. And that's my number 3 pick, Nova number 1. Sorry, man. Scrap that. That shows you guys how tired I am. And what kind of week it's been.
No, you have number 1 as your...
No. I know, but what I meant to say, the book that's going to be on my list is Nova number 1 from the 1970s, the Volume 1 series.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So that's going to be on my list to invest in. So that's why my number 3 pick is the Nova number 1 of Sam Alexander, the Sam Alexander series. I apologize, guys, just because I think Nova, when we look at the character, the Mantle, Kevin Feige has pretty much all but confirmed, that Nova is coming. I think he actually did say Nova is coming.
He did say that. That was an exclusive from comicbook.com, and he also said probably both of them.
And exactly. So, and he did say, we'll probably have both. So that's why I'm saying, like, anything around Nova right now is, a solid speculation. I'm all for, obviously, Richard Rider, Bronze Age first appearance, but his Marvel .1 first appearance, Sam Alexander, has been really on fire. So I picked this book, though, because out of all the Nova hype, this is one that's obviously gaining traction because it made this list. It had 142% increase in sales. All right. But, and just so you all know, it is his first solo series. Let me add that for context.
Sam's first solo series. But the average raw is still only going for about $13. Why is that important for me and important for me to talk about, and why I picked it is because there's a lot of speculation around Nova, whether it's Richard Rider, whether it's Sam Alexander, and their first appearances are obviously getting hot. But here's a book that is increasing in sales and that is getting speculation eyes brought on it, but yet it hasn't ballooned overnight. So what does that tell me? Because I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, look at this price, it's market manipulation or all this stuff. If somebody's willing to pay this X price for a book, it's a fair market price because somebody bought it. But then we tend to be reactionary. And, I always talk about this too. Don't let one sale be an outlier and make you and allow that outlier to decide what you're going to pay for a book. This tells me that there may be FOMO involved and people might be speculating on this book and they might be going out and searching it. But there hasn't most likely been this huge outlier or one or two collectors saying, I'm going to pay $80 for this book. And then somebody sees that as the last sale and they're thinking, oh man, this book is so hot. The last person bought it for $80. I'm going to pay $90.
To me, people are going after this book with cooler heads, and they're, you know, the higher the demand, the more that value, the more the fair market value is going to increase. But I think it's doing so in a very healthy way, if that makes sense. So again, we all know that the first appearances are going to be more sought after, but for a first solo series of this character who, you know, if you weigh the scales, the probability is more likely than not is going to be in the MCU in the near future.
Absolutely. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, so a couple things I was thinking. One, I wish it was the 90s one because I have like 30 copies of that book. But the other thing I was thinking is the books that came out from Marvel around that time, the reboots, the number ones. We're talking like Miss Marvel. Think about how much that book's worth. Think about how much the Moon Knight book, that one is even worth, you know, $50 for the number one, raw. So this one is on the lower side of that, but by like a long shot. Obviously, we know, you know, we've seen pictures from Miss Marvel already, so there's more hype around that. You know, with Kamala Khan and all. But yeah, I think I totally agree. This is a great pickup. What'd you say, $13 right now? That sounds great.
I think that's reasonable, and I think it has risen organically in a way, not off of, you know, just like kind of these spikes or anything. It's slowly gaining some traction and making its way into a top 10 of you know, cover price, which sales data doesn't lie. Granted, you have some outliers and stuff, but $13 for a book like this does not sound unreasonable at all, especially when we start seeing more of the cosmic side of things and hearing more about a Nova appearance in the MCU. Right, so this is, be on the lookout. I found 10 copies of these in dollar bins 6 months ago. Yeah, so they're out there, guys. They are absolutely out there. So yeah. Anyways, that's a good pick, Chris. You have a second pick.
This list. This is one that.
Can you exclusively tell us what this is?
Maybe if I want to. I don't know if I want to share it, but no. All jokes aside, the way I discussed my number 3 pick went over number 1 correlates to how I'm going to talk about my number 2 pick, and regrettably, my number 2 pick is World War Hulk number 1. Now, for those that don't know, last week this book had a 400 and something% increase in sales. It increased again this week, but 226%. The high raw sold this week. I didn't mention the number last week. I do believe it was around 40. Now it hit 60. So you see what this book is doing. This is the thing I wanted to compare it with Nova number 1. We know that Novas are coming. We know that Kevin Feige said most likely both of them are going to be there. And I know it's not a first appearance, but guess what? World War Hulk number 1 isn't the first appearance of World War Hulk or World Smasher Hulk, however you want to word that. So the fact that we can say with confidence that it's very probable that Sam Alexander is going to show up in the MCU when you got his first solo series selling for about an average of $13. And you have a World War Hulk book, which again, I mean, it's the number 1 in the series, but it's not the first appearance, is continuing to boom off of a questionable source. You see how it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. Now, we as collectors don't buy comics just because of speculation. Maybe there's a lot of people that really love Hulk and some people that don't really care about Sam Alexander, and maybe that drives their FOMO. You know, when we get announcements, whether those announcements are confirmed or questionable or whatnot. But still, $13 for a very similar number 1 book for a character that is all but confirmed to a book that's selling for $60 now for a book that is on the hot list because of a questionable source. This is what cover price quoted to, and I'm gonna read this because I think it speaks volumes and it adds to the conversation that you and I, Jeff, have been having for 2 weeks now. Cover price stated this, quote, "Unconfirmed reports of a World War Hulk film in development at Marvel continue to persist." I'm going to read that one more time. Unconfirmed reports of a World War Hulk film in development at Marvel continue to persist. That's why the book's on this list. Cover price, just like so many others, are not willing to get their hands dirty to say that this source that wrote an article saying they can exclusively confirm that Marvel not only is producing a World War Hulk movie, but we can exclusively confirm that the title is World War Hulk, and that hardly happens. It hardly happens that you know, when a studio goes into production with a film, that you get the name of the film, like the Doom, the Mad Max prequel. Isn't there a Mad Max prequel coming out? It's a Mad Max prequel. There's no name to it. You know, when the Star Wars sequels, you know, came out, we didn't know the names right away. We didn't know Endgame. You know, the part 2 of Infinity War. I mean, for so long we thought it was going to be called Infinity Gauntlet, and then, you know, it's Endgame. You don't. It's very rare that you get those things at the same time. Problematic. They also exclusively confirm that Marvel has the rights to Hulk under Disney, the solo film rights, but yet in that same article declared that if the rumors to be true, that Universal doesn't have the rights anymore. Cover Price is not stepping in the mud with this, just as Key Collector wasn't, because I did a video showing that Key Collector does their trending top 10 list, and this book was on there. But they had a whole huge, I mean, sometimes if something's optioned, or, you know, Feige said this, or, you know, Hollywood Reporter reported this, and it's one line. Key Collector had a whole paragraph, like 2 paragraphs, stating, if there's any validity in this source, we question this, take heed to this. And they didn't even mention the source because they don't want to step in the mud. They don't want to get their hands dirty with this. They can't confirm. Just like Hollywood Reporter and Variety and comicbook.com and all these credible sources and outlets have not piggybacked this and ran with it. So again, I'll end on this note. The fact that look, I haven't read this story. Actually, at A1 Comics, my local LCS, I've been recommended because I actually get free trades if you get a certain amount of points. And I'm always getting free trade paperbacks. And I've had multiple times over the last couple of years, people recommend, get the World War Hulk trade. Still haven't yet. I probably will someday soon. Great story, right? And look, you never know. You never know. This obviously could happen in the MCU at some point in time. Whether it's something that's going to happen next year or 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, whether or not it's going to be Disney and Marvel getting the rights back to Hulk or working the deal out with Universal like they did with Sony with Spider-Man and those characters. Who knows? It's all possible, probable possibility. All that is unknown. And the fact that this book is still on this list and is selling for this much simply because people don't want to sit and do their due diligence and critically think and say, can I trust this? I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, Chris and I have talked about this at length. Joe, just want your final thoughts on this.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. The price doesn't make sense as compared to, you know, someone said it in the chat. You know, we know Armor Wars, yeah, and Secret Wars are coming. We already had Civil War, yet those books are cheaper. 1, totally agree with that. 2, unconfirmed source. You know, there's no validity behind it. You can tell how it, you know, it's worded. I read the article, and no one believes it. And personally, I'm really glad that Cover Price and Key Collector and stuff don't try to hop on the hype. You know, they report it as news. They report it as this person said this, or, you know, a source said this. It may or may not be true, unconfirmed. I like that they do that because they could totally hop in on the, the clickbait bandwagon there, and that would be bad for the community and good for them, but they don't. So kudos to them.
Agreed. All right, we're gonna move on. Let's hope this isn't on the top 10 again next week, but who knows, Chris? I mean, we'll say to be continued, maybe. All right, moving on, Chris. Your third most interesting book on this list.
Yeah, I really don't have much to say about this, but it's fun, and it takes away from all the, it's like we're hopping in the shower here and rinsing off, and this is all about what I love about the hobby right now. So much of that is in this book, and I'm going to talk about that. My number one pick is House of Slaughter #1. We had the foil variant and the virgin variant. It's interesting we didn't have the cover A, but we had those two. But again, these are online sales, so I'm hoping that your local shops really ordered up on these. And that's why there's plenty of them out there. I'm talking about cover A, that is. But still, I said with this book, two words, one name, James Tynion. He's just doing amazing things that are bringing readers into these books. And of course, there's speculation and hype around it on that, and you're going to get these prices, peak up, and people are going to be able to flip them and sell them on the secondary market for a solid price. But so be it. That's what drives this hobby. But people are diving into these because of the writing and the storytelling. And that's why I said we're rinsing it all off here, and we're coming back to the goodness of comic books. There's so many people that talk about modern comic books are trash, as if comic books 30, 40, 50 years ago were all perfect. They were all the most perfect creations with the most perfect art and the most amazing storytelling. And it's just not true. Every era had garbage titles that may have not have lasted, or garbage arcs that were like, okay, that fell flat, or art that just didn't pan out. You had that all the time, and it still exists. There are so many good stories and good art being told. There is. You gotta want to find it, folks. And I've said this. The independent companies and even outside of the independent companies and what DC's done with their Black Label, with the horror genres, the different genres, stepping away from the superhero genres, are amazingly great things that are happening within this hobby right now. And I want to bring this up too. I don't want to start a fight over politics, because I know, Jeff, you and I and we do our best to like we were just mentioning early in the show, no matter what your politics are, no matter what your politics are, it's tiring to hear that so many people are like, oh, all modern comic books are people forcing their politics. There's a bunch of arguments I can bring in about why that's not true, but I won't even touch on those, and I'll just touch on one. I can't remember, and again, I'm behind on my reading, but I can't remember the last time. Actually, I think I do. I think the last comic book that I read that was really that had a real political undertone, where it was relatable to modern world politics and everything, I think was the Nick Spencer Captain America run, the Steve Rogers Captain America run. I think that was the last, and it wasn't even the whole run wasn't even about that, but it was sprinkled in here and there. That was what? How many years ago was that now? 6 years ago? I don't even remember.
Yeah, I think it was longer than that. No, you're right. Around 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah. Yeah,
I think it was right. It was after the whole Secret Wars that they brought back. So right before, maybe it was right after Civil War II. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make here, I read Spider-Man. I read Nick Spencer on Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Iron Man. I've read so much DC, all of the I've been reading The Flash, Rebirth, Batman. I've been reading so many Boom titles, many of the limited series, Proctor Valley Road. I've been reading the many deaths of Lila. Man, just so many, and I'm behind on my reading, but there's so many that I can't even count on my fingers still. No politics at all, none. It's superheroes, it's horror, it's the genre, it's self-reflection, it's God, there's so much out there, guys. I know I kind of went on a rant there and went off topic of my number one book, but it all comes back to the number one book. There's good stories to be told, and there's good stories being told. You just got to want to find them. It's that simple. And I'm so happy that I could talk about this book, even though it's not a cover A, because I think that this book is going to, I know it just released the first issue, but I think the series is going to be a success.
Absolutely. There is so much to read. There's so much for everybody out there. Everybody, no matter what your taste is. And I can't remember a time before, that it was like this, when I started collecting, it was superheroes. That was it. But there's so much out there. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the horror genre. Witches by Scott Snyder and Jock is like one of my favorite runs. And waiting 7 years now for that second volume, which, God, I hope we get it someday. But yeah, I love the horror genre. James Tynion's killing it. He's Something's Killing the Children. I'm reading that. That's great. I prefer Nice House on the Lake, which is he's about halfway done that right now for DC Black Label, which you mentioned before. House of Slaughter. I picked up the cover A, the 1 per store, and the red one, which I think is a 1 in 25 variant, if I remember correctly. But yeah, super love all things horror, originally stemming from my love for the movies. Now, the combination of horror and comics. I love it. I'm with you.
Yeah, Justin, No Good Comics, good friend of the show, former guest co-host who will be getting one of those varsity jackets that we probably will never produce. Department of Truth. I'm on board with that as well. By the way, I'm appearing on Justin's show tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Pretty excited about that. Justin's one of the best. He's such a great dude. And y'all need to be following him. His link is below as well. But yeah, not to get off track here. That is the top 10 hottest comics of the week. Am I right, Chris?
It is.
It is. And we will end the top 10 hottest comics of the week, hoping it's going to be a more interesting list than that. Hoping it's going to be a more interesting list next week. So right there, that ends our favorite segments right there. I have to say, nobody guessed the movie. Yeah. It was really a hard one. It was Bloodshot, the Vin Diesel from 2020. It was like the beginning of the pandemic. So there he is right there. Nobody guessed it. Nobody even tried. Last week, everybody was trying. This week, no. So all good. All right. Maybe I'll have another movie next week. Joe, man, it was great having you on this show tonight.
For sure.
You were an incredible, you really took a turn, the Dara Hall and John Oates, or Boys to Men situation. Your wife may divorce you, by the way. That's a possibility.
I can't. I'm going to go downstairs and get yelled at. I'm positive.
Yeah, she said something in the comments. I think something like she didn't know this about you. So let us know how that goes. If you need a couch to sleep on, I'm a few miles up north in New York here. More than happy. But you've been an amazing guest. You're fresh from the comic shop. You brought it.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on the 181, dude.
You mean this 181?
Yeah, that one that's in your hand right now.
Hulk 181.
Yes, that one. Right. Yes.
Just making sure this is.
No, I should have clarified. I'm sorry. You're right. Yes. Congratulations on that. Where are we at with the subs while Chris is going to kind of give his kind of closing words for the show?
So it's back up to 23. I don't know what's going on.
Chris, you didn't write a speech for having this be in our last show ever, did you?
I didn't. I could.
No, Chris, that's Chris and my job. We have to be like,
yeah. We gotta say goodbyes here. So wait. Okay, so tell me again. Where's it at?
823.
It says 8. I'm gonna look it up myself here.
I'll look it up too.
Not Batman 181. That's a good book too. But
somebody said Batman 181,
which is that's First Poison Ivy. That's a good book.
There's a lot of good 181s. There's a couple other ones too.
I've been saying that.
All right, here we go. Let's check out what you got going on in terms of, because we need to save comic book canon, everybody.
Oh, we're at 824. And you know what?
It is 824.
Let me take this opportunity to remind everyone that if you live in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York, Delaware area, you should come to Super Jersey Comic Expo tomorrow because I got a booth there. And I'm also doing a free raffle for all of my YouTube subscribers.
Oh,
okay. Right there, guys. Look,
y'all should sum up. The link is down below. It's that easy.
Yeah,
guys. Save comic book canon.
It says 824. Somebody in the chat right now needs to go give Joe a sub. You get to be entered into a raffle, and you get to keep comic book canon running.
Huh?
I mean,
it's not happening, guys. It's not happening. I'm looking right here. It's 824. We're stuck on 824. Guys, it's been a great run with Comic Book Canon. We really appreciate all of the support you've given us. Unfortunately, we're going to need to end this. This is the last episode, and it's really a damn shame because we did not get...
Oh, he did it!
We got it! We got it!
Woo!
All right, 825. 826!
Go Birds!
Right.
Go Birds!
Good job, guys. Good
job.
job.
All right. Again, Joe, seriously, it was great guest. You really turned the corner in a good way after your kind of non-Philly music knowledge. But other than that, it's been you've been a valued member to this show. You're not Hall of Fame quality. There's only one Hall of Fame, Steve, aka Hip Hop's in Me. But you're very close. We may have to vote you in. You're one of those like second ballot Hall of Fame guys.
Sure, I'll take it.
So. But again, thank you so much for joining us, everybody.
Absolutely.
Thank you again for watching each and every week. Hey, Chris, can you remind everybody about this thing I'm going to put up on the screen right here?
Yeah, guys. So, well, first off, thank you again for another amazing Friday. Next Friday, hopefully you guys can kind of mellow out. I most likely won't be having a live show. My son actually has an appointment at the DMV to get his driver's permit. So that's what I'm going to be doing next Friday. Just going to be taking the night off. We're going to see you guys on Sunday. So that's, like it says right there, Sunday the 14th at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. But it's going to be good because we know what's happening Friday as well. So maybe you guys can veg out and dive into, the Disney Plus, all the big, huge Disney Plus announcements that's going to be happening. And we'll be able to, deliver all that on Sunday. So it's going to be a huge show.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We're going to hopefully get some interesting guests on as well. But the guests tonight, again, we thank you so much, Joe. Everybody,
Joe, yes,
please be good to yourselves. Be good to other people.
And remember.
Hold on.
Watlock.
Remember the Watlock.
I'm still taking offers. Hit me up in my DM.
Oh gosh, this is I think that's illegal. But anyways, moving on. Guys, again, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be live Sunday the 14th, 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Until then, guys, be good to yourselves, be good to everybody else, and have a great rest of your weekend. Peace.